Good morning, folks. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody is having a awesome Friday. Today is Friday, April 26th, and it's going to be a rainy day today, y'all. Rainy day today. So,
Can you do my call for a impound?
remember when it's rainy, Austinites, they don't know how to drive. So, be careful on the streets. Good morning, Wednesday. How are you doing today? I'm only going to be out for a very short period of time this morning, and then I am going to be going home to spend the day with my kid before the 6th or 7th episode of Austin After Dark tonight. Toddler time is coming up. It's 7:54. Toddler time starts about 10 this morning. So, I got to feed the algorithm. See, the bad thing about this is social media, and if you if you slow down with your engagement falls off. So you got to keep it up. It sucks, but that's just the way it is. So I figured I'd come out this morning, stream for a while. I got to go meet my buddy down, DC Dave. We may possibly visit a camp this morning. And then I'm heading home to spend the rest of the day with my family. And then tonight, we go out for Austin After Dark tonight. So it's going to be a good day today. I hope it's going to be a good day today. But I just wanted to tell everybody I am very, very humbled by the support that you guys have shown me and what we're doing in the last few days. I finally sat down last night and started catching up on messages and looking at the analytics from the last few days, and it's just, it blows my mind. So I could never thank you enough. Wednesday, you've been here this whole time, and I cannot thank you enough, honest to God. The more people that are watching, the more the algorithm loves us, and they'll put us in front of more people. So thank you so much. Can never thank you enough. No, I'm here for you guys. I do this just for you guys. This is all for you. There's really no fire incidents happening this morning. I don't really have any idea what's happening with the police because we don't have access to the radios anymore. So I wanted to tell you guys, at the top of my X profile, I'll put it on my YouTube and Twitch. I need to sit down and put it on all of my bios. There's a phone number. I have a new business phone. I bought it yesterday because of the protest. So anyway, I might as well use it, right? I bought 3 months of service. It's just a prepaid phone, actually. It's a straight talk, I think. But anyway, I bought 3 months of service, so I might as well use it. I don't even know why I bought 3 months of service. It was cheaper. It was $130 for 3 months of service. And but if you went monthly, it was like $45 a month. So it was cheaper in the long run to buy 3 months ahead of time. So I might as well use it. If you guys see anything while you're out and about, or you hear of anything happening, any incidents, any police incidents, please let me know. Send me a text or call that phone and let me know what's happening, because right now we're blind in the city when it comes to major incidents happening. We are completely blind, and we're having trouble figuring out how to do this. So just keep me in mind when you're out and about, if you don't mind. I may even start paying for tips. I don't know if that would be prudent to do. I don't know. I have to figure it out. We've got to figure this out. But being blind in the city when you cover public safety, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. I don't know if I can put like a bounty on tips maybe, or how I can do that. That would probably get expensive really quickly. I don't know. I have to think that one through a little bit.
442 clear, not suspicious person at Sunflower and Poisonberry.
We still have, Wednesday, you're right. That's probably kind of stupid, ain't it? To pay for tips. But I want to give an incentive for people to actually send in the tips. Give people a reason to want to send them in. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think that. I'll have to think it through to maybe some type of an incentive to send a tip in. I'm always up for ideas, man. I'm just as new at this as anybody. So if anybody has any ideas, then let me know. Something cool happened last night. Do y'all know who Chip Roy is? I think he's a congressman here in Texas. He followed me and then retweeted one of my messages from the protest, and man, I got a big bump from that. Chip Roy. I don't know.
Hey, when I was using the Bolero, they employee from Berkeley.
I don't know if
advised that they got that guy on camera that know what the
I'm not a big political person. So I don't keep up with who all the politicians are and who they're not. I mean, at this point, it's all divisive, and I just don't. I hate politics, man. Thanks, Wednesday. I'm very, very proud of what we've been able to do too. It's pretty amazing. But I'm not a big political person. I don't like politics. I don't like politicians, and since I've been doing this in this city, politicians reach out to me all the time wanting to do this or wanting to do that. Especially, I notice when we have a lot of attention on us, like right now, we have a lot of attention. The politicians flock to that. I think it's because they love the publicity. But then the minute that the publicity dies down, then you're no longer their friend anymore, and it's just kind of bullshittish, to be quite honest. I don't trust them. On the left and the right, I don't trust them. I do not trust a politician. They all are cut from the same cloth, just with different ideas. But it is what it is. I've had people say, hey, Jamie, you should run for council. It's like, no, I'm not running for council. That's crazy, man. There's no way I would run for council. Well, for one, I don't even live in Austin anymore, so I couldn't run for council. But even if I did still live here, for those that don't know, I moved out of Austin in November. This past November. I would not run for an elected position.
I just got flagged down reference to another collision.
Oh, man. But I'll tell you what. I don't know what I was about to say. I completely just lost my train of thought. Look at that. I just got a message on the work phone. Let's see what it is. Is it a message from somebody? Did somebody send me a tip?
1 David 44 traffic.
0. No, absolutely not. There's no county judges. I would never. I live in Williamson County, actually. I would, look, where my house literally is on the line of Williamson County and Travis County. I kid you not. I can drive about a half a mile to my west and be in Travis County. So I'm like right on the very edge of the line of Williamson and Travis County. Travis County wraps around Williamson County, up in like the Leander, Cedar Park, Liberty Hill area. So I'm like right on the line. Yeah, I mean, we're close. I know we're close to the county line. I mean, really close. But it is what it is. I kind of like Williamson County. It's a very red county, but I'm going to tell you one thing. You come down into Austin, and you get used to driving. Like, people drive however they want down here. I mean, there's really no. The cops aren't running. I would be interested to find out how many traffic tickets they're writing in this city, because people drive however they want. I mean, nobody's being pulled over. When's the last time you've seen a Austin cop have somebody pulled over? So, people, I come down here and it's like people drive however they want, but then they go up into like the Leander Cedar Park area, and the cops up there, man, they're ruthless when it comes to writing tickets. Those Leander cops, man, they'll pull you over for 4 or 5 miles per hour over. It's crazy. A lot of cops. Leander's a small city, and my address, but and Andy Hogue. Do y'all know who Andy Hogue? Do y'all know Andy Hogue? Andy is running for mayor in Leander, and I think he's got a really good shot at winning, because Leander typically elects Republican mayors. So Andy's a friend of mine, and I'm gonna have Andy put me on the Public Safety Commission. Man, we got to stop writing these tickets. Yeah, Zero. I've always heard stories about Wilco and their justice system up there, man. That it's very strict, very, very strict. But what I was getting at is they have I think there's not a ton of people that live up there, but they have a lot of cops for the amount of people that live in the city. They have a lot of cops up there. I mean, the whole city's blanketed with it. And I ain't got a problem with it, but just a lot of cops for a small city. A lot of cops for a small city. Oh, I'm going to go for the Public Safety Commission in Leander. Tell them to stop writing tickets. Cut that revenue down. Yeah, they don't, man. And there was a judge in Wilco. So listen to this. Y'all remember when Live PD was happening up in Wilco? This was before my public life. At that point, I only had one child, my son, my 11-year-old now. He was 5 or 6, and we loved watching Live PD. And Live PD was in Wilco, and we went to the sheriff's department. So my son, we adopted in Wilco, in Williamson County. And so we went through the court system in Williamson County, and Robert Chody, Sheriff Chody, reached out to us and said, hey, why don't you bring your child, bring him up here to the sheriff's office. We're filming an episode of Live PD. Come up here, we'll show you how it's filmed. You can meet Lieutenant Gray, and so we went and spent the day at the Williamson County Sheriff's Department, and Robert took us around, showed us, basically took Joseph, my son, into the jail so he could see what jail looked like. And it was kind of interesting because my son loves police officers, and he was talking about their ballistic vests. So Sheriff Chody took his ballistic vest and let Joseph wear it around the jail, and we got to see the technology behind what made Live PD work, how they actually did it, how they broadcasted. We got to go out with Lieutenant Gray while they were filming. It was a lot of fun. It was a whole lot of fun, and my son still to this day talks about that. It was like one of the best things and I've got great pictures from it. I know as a dad, all parents take pictures, but it was so much fun to watch them film for Live PD. and just how all that actually worked, the behind the scenes part of it. It was very interesting. And I know Robert Chody is charged with some stuff. I don't care about all that because he showed my son a lot of love that day, and I have a lot of respect for the man because of that. And he had us up there out of the kindness of his heart. He didn't have to spend that much time with us, but he did. He had the SWAT team in his office, and Joseph got to take pictures with the SWAT team, the canine that they were using. It was a great day, and my son loved it. It made a huge impression on my little boy, a huge impression on him. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing for cops to do, is to show that kind of love and attention to a child. Yeah, it was Wednesday. So, look, when we did adoption day, so it took us about 2 years to adopt, to go through the whole process. And on the when we went to court, our final court date, where my wife and I raised our right hand and we took an oath to our son in front of the judge. That day, they call it adoption day. They have one day where they bring all of the families in, and they finalize all of the adoptions on one day. And that day, they have the kids dress up as their favorite superhero, Spider-Man, Batman, whatever. And they had the kids, dress up. My son chose to dress up as a cop. His heroes are police officers, and that's very special. And so we went and found him a costume, a police uniform, and him being in the courthouse with all the deputies. The deputies loved him. They were all wanting to take pictures with him. The judge, it was just such a great day. And man, I'm sitting here tearing up right now thinking about it, because when you work for something like an adoption for 2 years, and then when it finally comes to fruition and it's over, and you get on with your life at that point, it's pretty amazing, man. Pretty amazing. And then we turned around and did it again with my 4-year-old. Except that we brought him home from the hospital. No, we don't really celebrate. No, I mean, it's more of a, we do, but we don't make it a big thing, around the kids. Joseph, my 11-year-old, he remembers, he was really young when that happened. He was 3 or almost 4. So he remembers. He doesn't remember a lot, but he remembers some. So my wife and I kept the whole case file. We kept everything. We kept everything we could possibly keep. That way, when he's a little bit older and we sit down and have a talk with him, if he's got questions, we can show him exactly what happened. And with my toddler, his name is Arcadius. We brought him home from the hospital. He was born and he came home from the hospital to our family. So he's been with us since day one. I have 2 children, but I've only raised 1 baby. That makes no sense, but I have 2 children, but I've only raised 1 baby. So it's kind of odd to say that, but Arcadius came home from the hospital to us. And it was very interesting because we didn't know that he existed. He was born on August 29th. We didn't know until the evening of the 28th that he existed. CPS came to us and was like, hey, by the way, Joseph has a brother and we need a place for him to go. So we had about 12 little over 12 hours to get ready for a newborn. We didn't have diapers, we didn't have bottles, we didn't have anything for a newborn. And my wife and I just went out on a spending spree, buying everything that we could possibly think of. New parents we've never had a baby before, and having to get ready for a baby. It was the most stressing time of my life, man. To have 12 hours to get ready for a newborn. It was incredibly tough. But CPS was really, really great about it. They helped us as much as they could help us. And it all worked out though, man. We're a happy family now. So, but try going to bed on Friday night without a baby and then waking up on Saturday morning with a newborn. It was not easy. Let's put it that way. It was not easy. We didn't even know he existed until he was basically coming to us. Very interesting how that happened. Yeah, it's fun. It's funny now, but then when it happened, man, I'm telling you, man, you want to talk about a shock to the system. It was a shock to the system. I mean, geez, we went to bed with a 4-year-old and woke up with a newborn. It was so crazy. That time was so crazy. But, like I said, the CPS, we had an awesome caseworker that helped us. And she's no longer with CPS, but we are still friends with our caseworker that handled that. We're still really good friends with her. My wife just went to her baby shower. Like, we made some really good friends during that time. And the caseworker ended up getting pregnant, and she could not handle that job anymore. After she had her baby, she could not handle being around, the depravity of society when it comes to children. And I don't blame her, not one bit. We've been around this system for a hot minute now, and just seeing how crazy, adults can be. Adults, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Adults that basically put their needs above their children. And it is so insane that an adult can do that. But they do. There's so many kids in the system that just need somebody to love them. And there's so many kids that just want somebody to love them. Just blows my mind. Children did not deserve the bullshit. I'm sorry, I'll get off my soapbox about that now. Let's get back to work. Let me see what's happening in the city.
Acre 425, Adam 491, special dance.
But I will say, if anybody that's listening is thinking of adopting or wanting to adopt, and you want to know how that process works or how to get started, send me a message. I'll be happy to talk to you about it. We've done it twice now, and it's a very difficult system to navigate if you haven't done it before. But you need to get a good attorney. You need to get you a good attorney that does family law, that can help you navigate the system. Yeah, there's not a whole lot happening out here at the moment, Wednesday. It's of course I can't hear the Austin police radios, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot happening at the moment.
Adam, Robert, Edward, Sam, space, Mary, Adam, Charles, Ida, Adam, Sam, first name, Frank, Robert, Adam, Nora, Charles, Ida, Sam, Charles, Ocean, 2671.
So the other thing I wanted to say about the CPS process, the adoption process, is the number of attorneys that's involved in that one child's case. So my wife and I had our attorney. My son had his own attorney. CPS had their attorney. The biological mother of my child has her attorney. And then if there obviously was a father that we didn't know who he was, so the court appointed him an attorney. And 5 attorneys involved in one adoption. That is insane. You should have seen it. It was insane. 5 attorneys for one adoption.
You good to go ahead?
First San Francisco, no ID or DL, found out of Texas. We do have an application, should say citation.
Proceed.
Signal.
Having some sort of issue with Helix.
I am already out on the street, brother. Street. Let's meet up. Let me look at the map real quick.
And 488 clear on traffic, 18,008 on the block of South Complaint.
Do y'all want to go somewhere that's relatively safe, or do you want to try to go to a new camp that we haven't been in?
Yeah, boy.
Sorry, my talk to text. Okay, one sec.
Medic 19, Freddy 4 Fall at 125 Anderson Mill Road.
Units are out to the disturbances for 43. She is known to carry knives.
Oh, man.
She has any on her, and the complainant doesn't know where she lives.
Your cousin had to go to China to adopt. But you know, and that's a good thing too, because there's a lot of kids over there, a lot of kids over there as well that's looking for somebody to love them. I was just reading a tweet from Insider. Just in, King Charles funeral plans reportedly being updated after cancer diagnosis. A quote from the royal family says he is really very unwell. Looks like King Charles ain't gonna make it much longer. That's unfortunate, actually. I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that. Alright, I gotta figure out what camps we're visiting this morning. Yeah, it is sad. You know, and I know that we're not England, we're not Britain, but, you know, they're like our brothers and sisters. I mean, we are very closely related to that country and the royal family. You know, I mean, the royal family, I mean, we were Britain at one point, you know, we were the United Kingdom. So we're very closely related to them. Y'all want to go check on the Barton Creek Greenbelt? Do y'all want to check on the Barton Creek Greenbelt? I'm trying to keep an eye on it.
Copy, Medic 13.
Engine 41, assist the public. I may have a ride along tonight for Austin After Dark. Why do we have different heart colors? Yeah. I'm trying to track how it's changing and what the city is cleaning. There's still a lot of people living there. Heart colors. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Heart colors. I'm not.
Baker 442 clear to the harassment on Ivy Bridge.
Barton Creek is insanity right now.
491 clear out on traffic, 19,000 block of Colorado Sand.
Oh man. Hoorah.
20 to go.
Hoorah, hoorah. Hoorah, 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 hoorah. You know, every time I come down here and see all these people jogging and exercising, it makes me feel lazy. Oh, shucks. We're gonna film at the Barton Creek Greenbelt this morning.
Copy, sir.
Hoorah, 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 hoorah. You know, I have received so much hate over sharing my opinions on the Fox 7 reporter being taken to jail. And it blows my mind that people have gotten this emotionally invested in this issue. I mean, people are incredibly emotionally invested in
Figure 10 traffic.
interesting.
Figure 10.
3400 620. Paul Sam William 40 at 4 to Great Toyota RAV4.
Received.
Man, I'm still taking shit from not having a for my batteries dying the day of the first protest. That's so funny. Yeah, I don't know. Wednesday, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, there was a lot of videos of that, and there's a lot of chaos happening in that moment, and I think he pushed his camera into the back of the cop. But see, here's what nobody's talking about is a few minutes before all of that happened, Carlos got into a bit of a, I don't want to say a fight, but he got really close to a cop's face with that camera. I mean, we're talking like less than a foot away from the cop's face with the camera, and the cop put his hand on his chest and pushed him backwards, and Carlos was looking at him, screaming at him, like wagging his finger at the cop. That happened literally just minutes before he ended up pushing his camera into the back of that cop. So I think it's obvious that he pushed his camera into the back of that cop. The video doesn't lie. I mean, I posted a very good video showing what happened, and you can blatantly see him push his camera into that cop. So he kind of
00505199.
Yeah, I'm telling you. He pointed his finger. He's like pointing and kind of wagging his finger at that cop. So, and I looked. It's not. He didn't. The cop that he pushed the camera into the back of. It's not the same cop that he was wagging his finger at. But you know, look, I was there in the middle of all of that. It's a very high stress, high anxiety. You know, it's a very scary event. And I'm telling you, if you're going to involve yourself in these protests and, you know, you get too close to the cops, it's kind of your own fault, man. I mean, I would never walk up on the back of a cop like that when they're in that situation. Because, you know, at that point, the cops are, their sense of awareness is very heightened. They don't want anybody on their back like that. And if you're going to push your way into the back of a cop, man, you kind of get what you deserve. They have to watch themselves from all angles. And, man, I mean, you know, if you're going to involve yourself, you know, the one thing that I've been learning is when you're documenting these things and filming these things, you don't want to be the story. You want to report the story. You don't want to be the story. And sadly, he chose to make himself, he chose to interject himself into the story. So, it is what it is, you know?
We've got a check off for holding at 15711.
It is what it is. You know, and I'm going to tell you, the whole time I was there, all of the police officers were very respectful. Like, I had my press pass on, so they knew that I wasn't there, you know, protesting. And even at the end of the day, when they were about to start pushing everybody off South Mall, one of the state troopers looked at me and kind of kicked his head back the other direction, and I didn't really know what he was talking. And I finally asked him, I was like, hey, and you can hear me do it you can hear me say this on the stream. I asked him, I was like, should I get out of here? And he was like, yeah, get out of here before this happens. And I was like, you know, Roger, you got it. And I went the other direction. So if people would listen, you know, the cops are not there to hurt reporters. You know, if you're respectful to them, they're going to be respectful to you. And you're right. Parents no longer teach their kids to have respect for others, especially police officers. In this day and age, they don't. A lot of parents are teaching their kids that officers are the enemy. And I think that is insanity. And those same people that teach their kids that officers, or they don't teach their kids. They don't teach their kids that police are there to help. But when shit hits the fan and they need the cops, who do you think they're going to be running to right off? Right off the bat, they will run to the cops right off the bat. So, you know what? Let's pull in here. Let's go check out the Greenbelt real quick. Now, I have been losing signal back here at the Greenbelt, and I apologize if that happens. You know, my wife and I have always told my especially my 11-year-old that if, you know, you're out, because he goes out and plays in our neighborhood, we've always told him, like, look, if you need help, if somebody is after you, if there is an adult that's trying to come near you, scream and holler, go to an adult, and especially you can always go to a police officer. If you need help and you see a cop, you can just go to the cop. Tell the cop you need help. You know, the cops are not there to hurt you, they're there to help you. And I don't know many cops that are just outright malicious. You know what I mean? I don't know many cops that would just outright be. I mean, I know they're out there, but, you know, and we tell our kids, like, find an adult. It doesn't matter what adult. If you need help and I'm not right there with you, find an adult. I can guarantee you that if any child came up to me asking for help, telling me they need help, you know, it's like the parent mode kicks in, even if it's not your child. Wednesday, am I right? If a child came up to you asking for help, wouldn't the mother instinct kick in with you? You would help that child, just like it's your own child. And I love that about Americans is, you know, we have children. You know, when it comes down to it, all children are our children. We would do for other children the same as we would do for our own. And I love that about Americans. Oh yeah, there's bad people in every profession. Bad cops, bad teachers, bad reporters, bad everything. I mean, there's bad people in every profession, but I still think even if it was a bad cop and a child ran up to a cop asking for help, even a bad cop would help that child. You know, our children are the only thing we have, and it doesn't matter if they're my kids or not. If a child needs help, they're going to get that help to the best of my ability. And I think all adults are pretty much that way. It's like something about that parental instinct kicks in. Even if it's not your child, something about that, you know, the dad instinct or the mom instinct kicks in pretty quickly. Oh, let's see what's happening out here. Not out here cleaning. Well, that's interesting. There are new camps. There are definitely new camps down there. Yeah, there's somebody is actually, I wish I could show y'all this. Somebody has actually set up a whole living room. There's a bed, there's a couch, and there's an armchair. Literally, somebody has set up a living room down on the Greenbelt. They actually have a bed down there and a couch. Actually, that's a pull-out couch. I can see the mattress. Interesting. Very interesting. The city comes out of here trying to clean, but people are moving stuff in faster than they can get it clean. Alright guys, I gotta hop off here for a bit. I will be